Hello guys, hello guys, welcome back. Sathonan here. This is the Daily Grind. This is Saint Seiya Awakening. Um, this is the Chinese version, but I'm going to use this to give examples of the current banner over at the Singapore version, which is the Saint Seiya Awakening. I'm just gonna cache my dispatch here, and a friendly reminder: do your dispatches. You get a ton of stuff here, and the higher your account level, better rewards are available for you. Different type of missions and everything. It's very easy to pull 500,000 experience points just from the dispatches. So now we are going to exemplify. All right, this is cool. Um, the current banner, it's Virgo Shaka and Leo Ailoya for the Gold Saints. I don't recall them being released together in the Chinese version, but I started a month and a half after launch through the open beta, so maybe it's that. Okay, so I'm going to do a fairly common build for these characters. And these are characters that you should have, or well, they are not very difficult to pull over at the Awakening. It's just that my Shaka is not very well built. And Kiki instead of healing. Now, why this? Because Ailoya has a passive move where I'm just gonna give her a lot of energy with Kiki. Okay, here goes. Ailoya has a passive where he has a percentage opportunity to keep attacking up to 6 times if the enemy has a control debuff. Either he's silenced, stunned, confused, or has evil mind. So Shaka here has a small chance of silencing the opponent, and that is going to trigger Ailoya's passive. And you bring Camus to slow down everybody, and it goes like this: energy, protection, and you are going to give Ailoya a double turn. And now Shaka has a very small chance of triggering silence, and that chance increases every time he uses his AoE, and this is how you spam. My fight order got thrown off because there was a slowdown on Shaka. But it can work even with Camus. Now, this is all fine and dandy at lower levels. Both Shaka and Leo are naturally faster than Saga without Cosmos equipped. But once you start refining Cosmos and building your characters a certain way, then that doesn't matter anymore. not enough energy to do everything. Now you can try to equip Shaka with a slow down Cosmos or an attack down. Somebody got silenced, so this thing is going to attack 6 times in a row. And this is the gimmick. It looks very, very powerful, but it only works at the point we are at in the game. Because nobody is high enough in Cosmos and level for HP to matter. So what you're going to see a lot nowadays is this spam. AoE up and down. Because I'm reading stuff in the Reddit forums and I'm reading stuff at the Facebook from the official partner, these guys from GT Arcade, and well, people are excited, and yes, it's a very fun composition to use, and it pays off rather quickly, but it's going to come down. Because, for example, if the opposing team has a June or has a Witch, then this thing, oh, in fact, there is one guy rocking this same composition. And it comes down to who has the faster characters. And these guys are just very badly equipped. And as you can see, a single Doko can make short work of the entire team. Granted, my Shaka is not very well built, even though he's level 44 stars, and he has some Cosmos equipped. But they are not the best of Cosmos. For example, I could equip something like this, so everybody is slower. Yeah, in magical attack. So let's do that. And Leo, the secret of Leo is this passive, because if the opponent, this passive, the roar of the lion, that's what triggers his 7th sense, this one, which only goes up to 90%. If the enemy has a control debuff, then it triggers at 100%. That's the thing. That's his 7th sense. So let's try that fight again. Let's try some other fight. Whatever. I hadn't seen. Or okay, so this is the Chinese version. I hadn't seen this particular combination in ages, like in over 4 months. I don't know why people are using it again. Because it's not a particularly good composition. It's a one trick pony. That's what it is. And give her energy. And now let's give Aloya a double turn. And the other guy that works with Leo is Camus. And the way you use that is you have to build Camus to go before Leo. You give him a double turn and then you use the freezing coffin on the enemy team. This one. And they get petrified. And then you can trigger Aloya's 7 cents. But that's the build for this week's banner. I myself, I'm waiting for Doko and 8 cents Shaka, Araya Shiki, Virgo. They are not inherently better, but they have way more utility. Like Alaya Shaka can purge debuff of your team for free every time it's his turn. Treasure from Heaven! That's the name of that power. Or Gift of the Heaven. If you're not familiar with the lore of Knights of the Zodiac, that's a legendary attack that supposedly attack and defense at the same time. And supposedly when Shaka uses that, that means you're basically dead. And let's try to freeze Doko here. Because it robs you of your 6 sense. Well, your 5 senses and your intuition, your battle awareness too. So one by one he starts turning you into a living corpse, a living cadaver, where you have no sight, no hearing, no smelling, no taste, and he leaves you for dead on the battlefield. And you cannot outrun the attack, like it's instantaneous. As soon as he performs the technique, you are already dead. It's a pretty cool. It's Knights of the Zodiac is not really a fantasy or a fighting series. For all the fame it has, it's really not deeply but very philosophical and metaphysical, because it mostly deals with what is right to do as a man. That's a recurring theme in Masami Kurumada's work. Even from he has a boxing manga that is very very famous in Japan, Ring Nikakeru, and if you go look for that, all the characters. Well, actually, all the characters in Saint Seiya and other Masami Kurumada works, they all look like Ring Nikakeru characters. Like I don't know the names. I just know that that manga exists. But his protagonist, the main character in most of Masami Kurumada's work, almost always looks like this guy, like Seiya. So if you've seen one design wise, you have seen them all. Uh, but a common theme that Masami Kurumada work has is what makes a man a man. How can one succeed as a man who does what is right and is valiant and fight for his friends and friendship that stands the test of time and endures hardship. That's the recurring theme of Sanseiya. Well, not just Sanseiya, everything else. It's just that it's easy to overlook that in between all the blood and limbs flying, because in both the anime and the original manga, Saint Seiya is a very violent series. Like at one point, this guy is fighting this guy, the original Swan Saint, and loses obviously because he's the evil guy. And if well, Masami Kurumada work is anything but subtle. Like this is the bad guy, he's going to lose, but he loses on purpose just to discover what the technique of the Swan Knight is, and then he pulls out one of his eyes, and using his Cosmo energy techniques, he sends that to this guy, the Phoenix, who at that point in time is one of the bad guys, so he can learn about the technique and is prepared, because there is something with the Saints of Athena that once they have seen you perform a technique and survive the technique, it never works on them again. Like they can see it coming 3 miles away. Well, so that's I could talk in other videos about Saints, Knights of the Zodiac lore if you want, if you have any questions, especially those in the United States, because over there this wasn't a very big series, but it's literally world famous everywhere else. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Remember to subscribe to the channel, click on the little bell so you get a notification when I update new content. So that was the video for this week's banner on Sansei Awakening that features both Virgo Shaka and Leo Ailoya, two of the Gold Knights. And that means that the banner after this one is going to be Master Doko, who incidentally is my protector constellation. I am a Libra saint after all. So, well, that's all for now. See you again later, and remember, keep grinding on.